Advice on lifting. Um, a lot of people really don't care the numbers that you put up. With that being said, obviously striving, to get bigger and stronger, better, self-development for yourself is great. Um, but just take your time. There is absolutely no rush. And if your numbers are the only thing in your life that matter to you, you probably need to reassess. If you want to be successful in powerlifting or strongman, it takes a very, very long time. It's just consistency, and training block upon training block. You'll just have so many of them to cover to get to an elite level that there's no point in pushing yourself ridiculously hard. Training consistently, 3-4 times a week is going to make a very, very big difference. Catching up with your mates, family, friends, great for your mental sanity, and it just makes the journey so much easier. Things I wish I had learnt when I was younger would probably be every 10 to 12 weeks, just take a week off as a deload, catch up with a few more friends, things like that. Get outside a little bit more, enjoy, hiking, just being outside. That's something I've recently sort of come to do a fair bit more. And that's simply because, my training is getting harder, it's getting heavier. From training block to training block, I need a little bit more time to recover. The 900 kilo total I put up last time, comp day went really well, but the next day, yeah, I definitely felt it. Nothing in my joints, just everything muscular. I was tired, I was fatigued. Took a deload for about a week and a bit, and then started doing that front squat every day program just to build fitness up, and that works really well. And not always focusing on heavy compound movements. Obviously, in a comp preparation, things are a little bit different, but you'll understand as the years go by and you get more lifting experience that it's just going to come down to being consistent, having quality technique, and looking over the fundamentals that a lot of people just skip out on, like sleep. Huge performance enhancer. You just recover, drops your cortisol levels, you function better. It's required for a lot of other hormonal things to take place as well. If you're chronically sleep deprived, your testosterone levels are going to be lower, your growth hormone levels are going to be lower. A whole lot of positive hormones that you would have needed in your body just aren't going to be where they needed to be. So being sleep deprived really does not help your training. Factoring in, if you can, 20 or 30 minutes sleep during the day, just view it as a performance enhancing measure. You're going to feel better rested. You're going to start dropping your cortisol levels. You're going to perform better as well, and just, recover a lot more efficiently. Nutrition, obviously a big one, but the biggest thing behind nutrition is simply eating enough. It doesn't matter how hard you train. If you're not eating enough and you're eating, at maintenance or just below, you're not going to gain any significant amount of muscle mass. I find bulking and then cutting is far more effective because it just works better with my lifestyle. That being said, I don't go on a crazy bulk and try and eat a ridiculous amount, at one time. But just being consistent, hitting maybe an extra 500 to 1,000 calories a day, depending on your body weight, will make a very, very big difference. And I find, after you've put 10 to 12 weeks of solid training in, you've gained a little bit more muscle mass and the rest of it, you might go calorie deficit for 3 to 4 weeks, trim away some of the body fat that you put on, improve your physical health and fitness a little bit more, because that's just going to lead to better recovery again, which is going to lead to more strength and more muscle mass. And the other big one would just be reducing stress in life. If you're highly stressed, cortisol levels are going to spike. If your cortisol levels are spiked, then it's going to be a lot harder to put on muscle tissue as well. Also, living a life that has a lot of stress in isn't going to be great for you long term anyway, for numerous reasons. So that being in mind, just being consistent with your training and not just trying to go from point A to point B as fast as you can is going to make a massive difference. And if you can step back and look at the bigger picture, you're going to find, in a way, it's sort of a lot easier to continue lifting, knowing that, okay, I'm going to train consistently for 10 weeks, have a deload. I want to go camping or hiking. I can go and do this with a few of my mates, or I want to do X, Y, and Z and factor them in. I've found, through life and other things, even if I did have significant time off or had a really big deload, it does not take me long to get back to where I was. In fact, like a lot of my training blocks, especially true for now, like after my competition, I've just gone back to front squatting, but it was just front squatting 100 kilos for 20 reps. Nothing heavy on my back, nothing heavy on my shoulders, just playing around with the rep work. I don't care if my peak strength temporarily drops, like I'm getting recovery. Everything else in my body gets a chance to catch up, so that's really going to be useful. And you might spend a deload phase for 3 months. That's what I typically do. Get outside a bit more, enjoy other things, and then I get back into training, set my training blocks up and the rest of it, and it really does not take long to get back to exactly where I was. And you'll find, if you can take the mindset of, okay, it only takes me about six weeks to get back to where I was, all of a sudden you're not so precious about your numbers and performance day to day. It's not as if I'm a professional athlete being paid huge money to be at peak performance all the time. And you look at a lot of powerlifters, a lot of elite ones, you only need to be strong, like peak strength on competition day. To try and maintain a peak year round is just going to be detrimental to your health, physically and mentally. And it's just going to be exhausting. So looking at other, ways of training, whether it's, more fitness-based stuff, more bodybuilding style training, doing a bit of strongman if you're a powerlifter, or vice versa, whatever you enjoy. As long as you're just moving and being active with some form of, resistance training, you're going to maintain the majority of your muscle mass throughout a deload. And it just gives you the ability to enjoy other things in life, which therefore means staying consistent with, your sport, being powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding over the years is going to be so much easier. And, as a result, you're going to get so much bigger and stronger because you can be more consistent over the long haul. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that matter. If you guys have any questions, comment below. If you guys haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Have a great day wherever you are.